Hi everyone, my name is Bailey, and in today's video I'm building a classic 1950s mid-century modern home. I'm so excited to share this build with you because I'm really proud of it. I love this style so much, and I didn't do this video for a long time because I really wanted to do it justice and pull it off how I envisioned it in my mind. So I think I did a good job with the style. Of course, I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. I have like a Pinterest board with 100 pins of mid-century modern home ideas, so I hope that you like it just as much as I do, and I hope that you like that little intro that I did. While I'm doing this voiceover, I haven't actually edited that part yet, but I'm really excited because I have a clear plan of what I want to do, and I want to make it kind of a machinima. I mean, not really, but the closest thing to machinima that you'll probably get on this channel, because I just do not have the time, I do not have the patience to do anything like that. But this home is kind of special because it includes a doomsday bunker. So I researched the 1950s. It's a wonderful time. I mean, is it the best time to live? Probably not. I don't think anyone who's watching this video lived through the 1950s. If you did, that's kind of crazy. But from what I've learned from my couple of hours of research on the 1950s is that it was considered the best of times and also the worst of times. So it was a very iconic period. I picture it to be like the beginning of suburbia as we know it, although I don't think that's really true. If you look back, suburbia began way before that, but you know what I mean. Like, when you picture the 1950s, you picture perfect mid-century modern homes, like they all look the same on the same street, and perfect families live in them. At least that's what I picture, like housewives and businessmen, things like that, very stereotypical things. The 1950s was kind of like a major turning point for America. So there was, of course, the civil rights movement, and space travel was becoming a thing for the first time. So when I think of the 1950s, I think of the Jetsons. I just really like watching things from the past try to predict the future. I think it's cute. But space travel was becoming a thing for the first time ever. I can only imagine how cool it was to live through that. And then people finally had televisions in their home, so celebrities were becoming a thing, musicians were becoming popular. It was just a really fast-paced time for technology, and with that there was the threat of an atomic war. So people thought that America was going to be invaded and bombs were going to be dropped. That's kind of my worst fear. I honestly don't want to think about it too much, and we live in a world where that is a possibility, but this was something that people in the 1950s thought about all the time. I remember watching this documentary on the 1950s, and a part of it was where they interviewed some people who grew up during the 50s, and they were just talking so casually about how they would have drills in school in case an atomic bomb dropped and how they would have to hide under their desk. It's really wild, so I really wanted to incorporate that into my build. There is a shed at the back right next to the pool, and that is where the doomsday bunker is located. So it's just one room. It's nothing special. Honestly, it's kind of creepy, and I made sure to put like some cans in there and a sofa and a radio and some garden tools that maybe you could use as a weapon if you had to. I was inspired by the game, well, Fallout, of course, I mean, duh, but another game that I was inspired by was called 60 Seconds, and it was really popular like a couple of years ago, but it's where you have 60 seconds to grab a bunch of stuff in this house, and you have family members that you can grab, but you can only grab so many things at a time. So you might choose to grab your family members, choose to take some food, some water, a radio, whatever, and you only have a minute to do that. And then the rest of the game is about rationing everything that you brought with you and making certain decisions to like use different items or send one of your family members out into the apocalypse. Whatever you want to do, it's a really fun game. I would definitely recommend checking it out. And if you are already familiar with the game, then the bunker might be a little bit familiar to you because that was basically my only point of inspiration. I did find a picture on Pinterest of a bunker but I don't know. I just like the one in the video game better, so that's what I used as inspiration. This home is 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, so I was thinking that it was for a family of 3, some parents, and then a child. The parents, by the way, I hope you like their room. It's a little bit different from what I usually do, but I hope you like it nonetheless. And then I really like the little kids' bedroom because I was able to use the snowy escape bed that I'm literally obsessed with. I feel like in every single one of my kids' bedrooms from now on, you're just gonna see me use that bed. So hopefully it doesn't get too repetitive, but I really like both of the bedrooms. My favorite room is probably the living room though. I'm really excited for you to see that. But just a classic young 1950s family lives here. The dad is a businessman and then the mom is a perfect housewife. She's a super good cook. Everyone in the neighborhood really loves her. This is the little bomb shelter, by the way. I put some maps just in case, you know, they want to go out and travel. I'm thinking what someone would put in their bunker if they were preparing for the end times, if you will. So some books, of course, to keep yourself entertained. A lot of stuff from Outdoor Retreat. I just got Outdoor Retreat, so I'm not too familiar with the stuff that comes with that pack. You might also see me searching for items more than I usually would. I tried to cut a lot of it out, but I was searching for items for a pretty long time just because I got some new packs and that kind of messes up where everything is. So I was a bit thrown out of my comfort zone, but I hope you like the bunker. I know I put a stereo in that room that wouldn't really go with the 1950s, but we didn't have anything that was really in my head. Like I was thinking of a retro radio, a teal color, but we don't have anything like that yet. And I say yet because I'm really hoping that we're gonna get some new items, vintage items specifically, in the stuff pack that's coming out soon. If you don't follow The Sims on YouTube or Twitter or anything, you might not have seen that there's a new stuff pack coming soon. I just want to say that I'm recording this on Thursday, so this video will be going out Saturday, and you might know some more information than I do. But I think it's going to be like a ghost pack, so I'm picturing something along the lines of The Sims 3 Ambitions and how there was like the ghost busting career with that pack. So I think that they could include some vintage items, and that is right up my alley. That's my thing. I love that style so much. I'm just really excited for some new content, a new year, new expansions. I like stuff packs, but I'm really here for the expansions, you know? Also, I don't understand why we're getting another like spooky pack when we already have Spooky Day, we already have Seasons, we already have just so many opportunities for them to have included this content. So I could go on a whole rant as to why I don't think that this is going to be the best pack, but I don't want to make a fool out of myself and then have this pack be super amazing, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be purchasing it, so I also don't want to look like a hypocrite. But we just finished off with the dining area with the tiki bar. I was seeing that a lot on Pinterest. I think that was a bit of a trend in the 1950s. I'm not actually sure why. I would be really interested to know. Maybe people were just traveling to Hawaii and they wanted to bring back a part of that into their house. I'm not sure, but I was seeing a lot of tropical influences in this home on Pinterest, so I really wanted to incorporate that. And then this is the kitchen, the bright yellow kitchen. It might be a little bit too much, but I think it's good, and people on Twitter really seem to like the living room and the kitchen. I posted a picture of it and it got a couple likes, not to flex on you, but it's not that much. It was just definitely something that I wasn't used to. I used to be so active on Twitter and I really felt like I was part of that community, but then I fell off because I kind of hate Twitter now. I still check it, like if you want to message me for any reason, you can definitely do so on there, and then I post updates and things like that, so if you do want to follow me, ew, I hate that, but I used to be really active on there and it was such a positive place, and I met a lot of people who I still do really like and really look up to, and it's been super cool to watch them grow. But I was kind of getting tired of it because it was becoming very toxic. Even the Sims community on Twitter is like the worst of the bunch. I'm not saying that about everybody. Most people are super nice, but I feel like the majority of the bad people in the Sims community are on Twitter and no other platform. So it just becomes really toxic at times, especially when new packs are coming out. So I don't really go on there as often as I used to, but I did recently start an Instagram, a Simstagram as some people would call it. And it's been super fun so far. I've only made like 3 or 4 posts, but I've really been enjoying like kind of editing the photos. I only edited one of them, but we're just gonna ignore that. And seeing what other people are doing. Other people are doing like tutorials, and I think they're not called shorts. I think they're called reels on Instagram. I really like watching those. So it's definitely a different platform, but I feel like it's important for me to go on there because these smaller creators that I know that have grown the most in the past year, they definitely use Instagram to their advantage. I sound like Jeffree Star out here like plotting to go on different social media platforms. I recently watched Elise's video. If you don't know who Elise is, she is an amazing commentary channel, and she sat there and watched all of the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star documentaries. They're not documentaries, they're vlogs. But I just finished that video, so it's kind of in my head. Shane Dawson, I'm not gonna get into him, but Jeffree Star is such like a cartoon villain. It's really kind of scary. But yeah, I'll stop ranting about them because you came here for the build, but that was definitely a really funny video to watch. Anyway, we sped through my favorite part of the build, which was the living room. I'm just so happy with how it turned out. I love those nifty knitting sofas. I just think they're really pretty, and I feel like if you don't have all of the packs, if you only have like half or even less, it is so hard not to reuse the same sofas over and over again. For me, my go-to sofa is the cats and dogs one, so I'm just happy to have a new sofa that I can finally use. And then we move on to the kids' bedroom, which is a little bit smaller than I would have liked for it to be, but I think I made the floor plan the best it could have been. There is also a garage in this build because last time I included a garage in one of my builds, it was only on the exterior. Like, I included a garage door and then just forgot to incorporate it into the floor plan. So realistically, if the garage door had like been able to open up, it would have opened up into the living room. So I wasn't going to repeat that. I ended up including an actual garage, technically not actual because we don't have cars in the game, but an actual garage with a couple of shelving units and then just some clutter items. I didn't include it in the video because it's pretty boring. Like, I have seen some people be able to make amazing garages. One of those people is Erin with a Y. She made a workshop area in one of her garages and I was so inspired. I thought it looked great. But because this house is so small, the garage ended up only being able to fit the car and then a couple of shelves, and the car that I wanted to include wouldn't even fit, so it's just a really tiny space. I also didn't include the bathrooms. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. I've done this voiceover a couple of times now, so hopefully I'm not repeating anything. I will check back to see if I did. Here we have the master bedroom with the very lovely bed, you know. They're saving room for the Holy Ghost. I think when I was looking at the pictures on Pinterest of 1950s bedrooms, I was seeing like a 50-50 mix of normal beds and then beds like these where two are smushed together. So while they do have a child together, they're a bit traditional as well, and while I was building this, I was kind of thinking about the family, and I thought it would be interesting if she, the wife, cheated on the husband, like the pool boy or someone who works at the country club, something stereotypical. And I was thinking that she at this point is pregnant with quadruplets, but she hasn't told the husband or really anybody in the neighborhood. So this household is kind of about to be turned upside down. They're not the richest of families, so they're definitely gonna have money troubles. This house is too tiny for them. And then what are their neighbors gonna think? All of the housewives are gonna go crazy. We are getting to the end of this video though. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you did enjoy it. If you did, a like would be very appreciated, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!